Yo. Kenneth? My mic is live? Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll boot it up. Yo, there's mad people in the chat. Okay. Kenny, I've not played Pokemon competitively since Apex 2015. What the heck am I looking at? What am I looking at? I know what those Pokemon are. That's Horse. He's a threat. You take him out.
Which is true. Tyler does have speed. I'm not sure. Ooh, that's interesting. Hit him with the beat up to get the justified boost.
Oh, I've seen that in the past. That's a cute that's a cute play. I've seen that before.
I only have seen it actually executed though in the VGC style tournament though. Pretty cute. Ooh, okay,
yeah, that will good. Kill. I don't. Kenny, do you think that could matter at all?
Maybe a little bit. It's still like 4 times effective, so you know.
By the way, everybody, I'm Face. This is Kaioken.
Hello.
Doing our best to make it through this round.
That's quite fortunate that the Terrakion ended up living the Thunderbolt from the Tapu Koko, actually.
Honestly, I thought he was going to live the T-Bolt, but then, like, just barely died. Because if he got, like, a 5-hit... oh, no, I'm sorry. This is not
singles.
This is not singles. He can't have 5. I was like, why didn't that hit 5 times?
Unfortunately, Tapu Koko does not have the best special attack. So.
Yeah.
Interesting Lando T.
I mean, nah, Coco's special attack's good enough. It's pretty beefy. You know, you got the electric surge.
It's alright. It's like base 95, I'm pretty sure. I'm just gonna see what happens here. I wonder if that Lender is his skull. There's my pose, a bit of a problem. Try it goes down.
Yeah, now they have to play the deal with the Terrakion game, and
okay, the Lenders does not seem to be Sparks. However, I believe the Finny will be able to. Never mind.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, okay. Almost for to beat up on the. Oh, is this Sunwell Crush? Yes, it is. But I'm not sure if he has. No, it doesn't matter if he has knowledge, honestly.
I mean, he's plus what? Plus 3 right now.
Yes.
So that's gonna kill whatever. Well, if he's hitting planet and stuff.
Yeah, he'll still do a huge chunk.
I'm gonna say 40%.
I don't think we'll even do 40% because of the protect.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's about 40%.
Yeah. Muddy Water will be able to connect and take out the Terrak, neutralizing one threat.
Right, I mean, if you're... That's a big threat to neutralize.
Yeah.
You can't mess around with Horse.
And Bulu is waiting in the wings in the back, which is going to pose a problem, as it does have the heavy advantage on the Tapu Fini, along with being able to deal neutral damage with its stab moves on the Landorus, along with being boosted by the grassy terrain as well.
Yeah, I don't know what that Landorus can really even do right now to live through this turn. And it's important that he does.
If this is a bulkier Bulu, if the Lando ends up being Tman-Z, he would be able to knock out the Bulu, but...
Oh.
It'll be interesting what the Whimsicott does as well, because we've only seen beat up from the Whimsicott so far.
Yeah, we've only seen that. Encore,
okay. Encore and Protect, okay.
That's big.
That's looking like it might be game.
Possible.
Unfortunately, Encore does not affect Z moves, so this is a Tman-Z.
Will it have a lasting effect after this?
No. It's really big. And both teams actually had Tailwind up as well.
I didn't even know that. We came here in the middle of the match, so I didn't see that. Like, I didn't know if a Z move had been used Tman.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to commit to the idea that he had the Tman. Yeah, that was an important moment in the match. I mean, the encore idea was good, but not
And
not good
Tman
enough.
picks up game 1.
Sure. On Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Nice. Word. So, since we came into the middle of this, I didn't get to see their full team list, so I'm not sure what exactly to predict in Game 2.
Also not sure if either or how many Pokemon had all 4 of their moves revealed during that game as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Whimsicott, you saw basically all you're going to get, you know. I don't know if it's going to be worth it to bring that thing in the next round. I'm going back through the chat now. Flanium's Lando Z, please.
So we can see both teams here. Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh, I like the Kamo. I like it.
5 rounds of Swiss today. Thanks for pointing that out in the chat, Trevor. Yeah, we're going to have 5 rounds of Swiss today with a top 8 cut. And there is a Nintendo Switch on the line, so this is a pretty big deal. This is one of the first VGC style 2018 tournaments you're going to see. So lots of interesting stuff, you know. Hello again. I wish I wasn't so out of practice, man. I would have loved to play myself, man. I love me some Pokemans.
Pokemon is quite fun.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we'll see the Kamo this round. Looks like it has a
I hope so. I
relatively
love
easy
that
matchup.
Pokemon, man.
I love it as well. It's just so average. So
It
like,
is incredibly average.
it just gets overshadowed by like everything else because most other mons can do its job a lot better. So
yeah.
its Z-move was interesting, but
Well, I imagine if we're going to see it at all, we're going to see it throw a Z-move out there, no? Otherwise, I'm not sure. I don't know what its capabilities are in VGC. All I know is in some of the lower. I mean, I'm a showdown player, so all I know is it's pretty terrorizing some of the lower tiers. But I don't know what to expect in VGC. And speaking of not expecting stuff, I don't know what this line is going to do. I imagine some belly drum shenanigans.
Could have belly drum. It also has access to Stomping Tantrum as well as a ground move, so it would be able to hit Terrakion for quite a bit of damage.
Not exactly the most effective thing, though, when you've got a Whimsicott to sponge the other residual damage. But I mean, if it's strong enough, I mean, it could be good against the Terrakion, yeah.
Although I'm not sure if you can even go for belly drum quite yet. Z belly drum would be pretty interesting as well.
What does E-Belly Drum do again?
It fully restores your health and then it activates belly drum.
Okay, wow. That's pretty big. Well, again, you have the threat now of, beat up on the Terrakion, so you have to respect this +3 Terrakion now. And that means they're going to have to, that means Tman's going to have to take it out ASAP.
Yeah, Tman's going to be in a bit of a spot right off the back. Terrakion is now at +4 attack. Let us see.
I mean, I'm expecting Rock Slide, yeah?
Yeah.
So Volcarona once again,
going down. Was it sad?
Oh my god.
Yeah. And even Charlie Berry would not have held the Volcarona there.
No.
I don't know if we've seen either item revealed on the Volcarona.
That Volcarona has been obliterated twice. I don't think its item will ever see the light of day.
Okay.
So once again, Tman's basically starting the game with 2 Pokemon and has to find a way to deal with this fat threat, Terrakion.
It's interesting that Tman did not bring the Landorus this time, though.
Yeah, it did help to mitigate the Tapu Bulu, and I think he has to bring threats of his own if he's gonna, like, because once this Terrakion's out of the way, like, he's gonna have to really
Yeah, but like there was nothing he could really do at that point.
Yeah.
Because as we saw, the Tapu Koko's Thunderbolt was not able to knock out the Tarak from full, leaving it at just a sliver.
Yeah, we saw that last time.
I'm not sure if that's just a damage roll or, like I said, if Tapu Koko just not quite strong enough.
Yeah, and we know the Kangaskhan's not fast enough to outspeed the Terrakion, so...
He could have had Sucker or Fake Out, though, but I'm not sure if that would have been enough to knock it out. And even if it did...
In conjunction with a Thunderbolt crit, it could. I mean... Well, Thunderbolt crit's going to take it out regardless, but I'm saying if the Sucker Punch crit, because I'm imagining it's going to do some small sliver, but a slightly larger chunk could be just a ticket, you know. But you're also risking, raising its attack twice now. So,
right.
So plus 6 now or something.
So because he forfeited that match, we actually don't know if the Kangaskhan does have Fake Out or not.
A very strategic forfeit, by the way. Very good. And
yes.
I think that forfeit basically admits to a lack of Fake Out, no?
Not necessarily.
Well, if he had the Fake Out, then he could have dealt with the Terrakion. Because Fake Out plus Thunderbolt damage plus another fast something would have taken it out. So, like, Fake Out, Thunderbolt, and then next turn Sucker Punch, that should take it out, no?
You wouldn't even need a Sucker Punch. However,
I'm saying if it lives, because the Thunderbolt we saw left it at a sliver. The Fake Out would do another small sliver. You know.
Yeah.
We're dealing with fractions of fractions at that point. So.
But what I was saying was that it doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't have Fake Out. He might just want to give the illusion that he doesn't have it, so that
that's
this
true.
game, he could just spring it out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, that's if he brings the Kangaskhan again.
Right.
I mean, that combination didn't seem to pan out in his favor. Meanwhile, Pd0nZ definitely showing that he loves this Whimsicott Terrakion lead, putting the pressure on fast and early.
Well, Tman also doesn't have much to deal with that combination in particular.
Yeah.
Terrakion outspeeds the entirety of Tman's team, bar the Tapu Koko.
Yeah. But, I mean, he could go with... he could just start with a strong Thunderbolt, after he takes 4 smacks to the beat up, then, send out the Kangaskhan after he inevitably gets rock slided and, like we said, do a Fake Out and hope to be able to sweep the rest of the team with Kangaskhan plus supporting Pokemon,
One of Tman's unfortunate maybe not unfortunate win cons, but if he's able to dodge a Rock Slide or even, the full Rock Slide on both of his Mons, that would help him out tremendously. And he's going with this combo, so now
This is what we were expecting, yeah. This is what I think must happen, Yes. Strong Thunderbolt, Fake Out. Now, Fake Out on the Whimsicott is also an option, if such a move exists on this Kangaskhan,
Yes, that is true. Because we don't know what the... No, it has Continental Crush, so it's the Rocky MZ.
And we still don't really know what the item is on the Whimsicott.
But now he has to play the mind game of which Pokemon may end up using Protect, because I don't think we've seen anything but Rock Slide from this Terrakion.
I mean, we've seen the same lead from our seat. We've seen the same lead 3 times, but there was a move or two before we sat down.
Right. I'm thinking the Volcarona on Tman's side does have Tailwind, because I don't think anything else on Tman's team.
Yeah, we did. Oh, yeah, that's right. We did
Tailwind.
see that both teams had a Tailwind up. I don't remember exactly how it was set up, though, because we weren't here for that. Okay, so the switch out and the Grassy Surge means that he's expecting a Thunderbolt from the Tapu Koko.
Right.
And now the question is, what's being faked out? Because faking out the Whimsicott's just as good.
Or if Tman even predicted this play, he could have just gone for like a return on something on the Whimsicott. But,
right.
The chip damage on the Whimsicott will be huge as well.
Yeah.
Because Whimsicott is fairly bulky.
Bulkier than it should be.
Yeah. Interesting. He did not go for the Thunderbolt, so I think his plan was to kind of get rid of the Whimsicott, so he didn't have to worry about the prank shenanigans later.
With no Grassy Surge, I think that could have killed. With the Electric Surge still on board, that may have been enough. I'm not sure how much extra damage percentage-wise that does. Again, I've been out of the game for a while, so was it double or 1.5?
1.5.
Okay. So. How are we? Last time this Tapu Bolo was dealt with, it was with VGC, and that's nowhere to be seen now. So
here comes the Tailwind.
This is a good setup turn.
Even if he knocks out the Whimsicott, he still has the setup from the Volt Switch.
Oh, it's living though. That's kind of important, you know. If this Whimsicott isn't dealt with right now at a Kangaskhan, then it's going to be a real thorn in Tman's side later, because there's still like that. That means that there is still the present threat of the Terrakion Whimsicott play, and that's going to be difficult to deal with, as we've seen in the past.
That is true, but at the same time, with if the Whimsicott does not go down, that's one turn of Tailwind that he does not have to worry about.
That's true. Okay, so the Whimsicott does go down.
Okay, so he goes for the knockout on the Whimsicott.
Yeah, that was a good play on Tman's part to just deal with the threat of inevitable Terrakion later on.
So now, without the Whimsicott, though, if we do see the Terrakion, we're put in a position where Pd0n may have to decide whether we'd like to close combat or Rock Slide. Rock Slide would obviously knock out the Volcarona. Woodhammer might be able to take out the Bulu. I'm not entirely sure, but Mega Kangaskhan does outspeed Tapu Bulu by quite a fair amount. So
you're saying Woodhammer might be able to take out the Bulu?
I meant to say Kangaskhan.
Oh, okay.
Because it's boosted by the grassy terrain as well.
Correct. Right. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how this Bulu is designed by Pd0nZ. We didn't get to see much of it in action last time. It pretty much just got obliterated. So not sure what we're gonna see from this.
I'm also not sure if both of Tman's Mons actually have Protect at the moment either. Because if he could just double Protect here and just waste a turn of Tailwind entirely. I think we're on, what do we have, 2 turns left of Tailwind here?
Yes. Now the ring better be shiny in chat says if he goes Terrakion, doesn't he just win? And I'm not so sure about that.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, because we didn't know this 4th Pokemon until just now, and I think it being Tapu Fini is going to be more of a problem for Terrakion.
Yeah, I think that's actually very relevant, because now...
yeah, I knew the Kangas... Well, I predicted the Kangaskhan would be going down one way or another this round, but now this Tapu Fini is here to be a thorn in the side of Terrakion, but Tapu Bulu can probably mitigate this threat.
Yes. Again, it'll depend on the spread of the Bulu. Although I do think at this range, Life Orb Dazzling Gleam may knock out the Bulu. Actually, I don't think it does. Tapu Koko doesn't have the best special attack. And it'll be a spread move, so obviously the damage will be reduced to both Mons. However, if the Bulu does indeed go for a Woodhammer again, it may go down if it decides to attack the Tapu Fini. However, it could also have Hornleech as well, replenishing its HP, along with likely knocking out the Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini is quite bulky.
Yeah, but there is the threat of a Continental Crush coming down at any time, so I don't know the calcs on that. Again, I've been out of practice for a while, but if a Continental Crush comes down... Oh, well. Never mind. Okay, Gengar. Okay, we haven't seen Gengar this whole time. That's interesting. All right, a couple switches. Neither side liking the way that their team was looking at the opponent. All right,
that's a really good turn for Tman.
Yeah,
if the Flame Body does trigger, that would be huge, but we don't even know if he has Flame Body on the Volcarona. But
right. Well, more than likely, no?
Yes. I think that Tman got the better end of that switch.
Yeah, I mean, this Gengar is a little scary to look at, but I don't know what exactly it's running, and could be tricksy, could just be raw special attack,
Something I think is interesting, well, maybe not interesting, but now Tman's put in a position where does he save his Tapu Koko because the Tailwind's still up, because the Tapu Koko is the only thing on this team that outspeeds the Terrakion. So he would essentially have to sack his...
Did he get any damage on the Terrakion? I don't remember.
No, he did not.
So then we still know that the Thunderbolt's not going to take it out, even in the Electric Surge.
And it is indeed a Mega Gengar.
Yeah.
So maybe now we'll see a Protect from the Tapu Bulu along with a Sludge Wave, or even maybe just a Sludge Bomb.
Alright, Sludge Bomb it is.
Yeah, on the Tapu Koko.
Yeah, goodbye. So, not preserving that Tapu Koko might be troublesome later when he's dealing with the Terrakion. Okay. That was a really big turn for Pd0nZ.
Yes.
That Volcarona really struggled this whole set. I think if there's one thing to take out of this whole set, it's that Pd0nZ came prepared for that Volcarona.
Yeah. It's quite unfortunate. I like Volcarona. It's a very, it's pretty good all around.
You know my thoughts on Volcarona. I think that thing is a giant waste of space. And then I continue to lose to it every time. Volcarona, yeah, this thing sucks. So I'll just lose to it by not respecting it. Well, Pd0nZ was able to take that one 2-1 with his ever-present threat, the Terrakion, plus a good combination of Pokemans that were able to basically eliminate a lot of Tman's threats. Almost none of his setups were able to get going, and that ended up being troublesome for him.
I still think Tman performed very well because of at least based on the team matchup alone, didn't seem like he'd had the greatest chance just because of
yeah.
But I think he played really well. Even though he was at disadvantage.
I'm so surprised he kept bringing the Volcarona, though. I think that's the one thing that I think that was not a misstep necessarily, but I'm not sure why he continued to press the issue. Volcarona was dealt with very swiftly games 1 and 2, and he said, you know what, game 3, I'm going to bring it anyway. And I'm not sure what the mind game was. I don't know what threat it was potentially checking or what, but like it just never got an opportunity to really get going, and I think that was a problem.
Yeah, I feel like Lennartz would have been a better option, especially because Lennartz does have Intimidate, so it can pseudo-neutralize the Terrakion if the beat-up didn't go off like it did Game 3.
Right, it could also help, chip away at the Bulu, too. Intimidate's going to do a good job against him.
Yep.
Basically forcing a switch. All right, so I'm going to go back up front and see how the tournament's going. We will be back soon with